Welcome again to another Pathfinder educational video. In this video, we are going to cover trends in the market. This is how you will identify whether price is in an uptrend or a downtrend or sideways in the market, which are the only three options. Price is either moving up, down, or sideways. That's it. So you've already learned about support and resistance, and it's critical to be able to mark those up in order to identify your trends. So let's start at the leftmost point here in the market by drawing up our support line right here. And we will make our support lines blue with an S, and we will make our resistance lines red with an R. Now, in the market, you have support and resistance, and then you have the price movement which occurs in between the support and resistance. And what we look for is we look for price to break either the support or to break the resistance level. So what we can see here in this one is we can see the market has moved down. It's found support. Then the market had a pullback, which there are two types of pullbacks. There are simple pullbacks where the market just goes from A to B. And then there are complex pullbacks where the market goes A, B, C for the pullback. So here you have a complex pullback, support down here. The previous level of resistance was actually back up here. So we came from resistance, the market made a lower low. We have a complex pullback, and then the market has made resistance again. Now the market was sideways, slowly dropping in here until it broke right here. Once this breaks, we have what's called a break of structure. This is now a break of structure to the downside, and it is a continuation of the market. So the market breaks, comes down, finds support here, which I'm actually going to just use the copy and paste tool for the sake of our colors and all that. So we have support right here. Again, I'm holding down shift when I'm using support or using these lines. Otherwise, they just go anywhere, but if you hold shift, it snaps. So we have support here, and we have resistance here. So on this move, when the market comes down, it goes from a high to a low, finds support, hits an area of resistance, and then makes a lower low. Now, in this scenario, we would have a trend because it was already doing this. But if the market had come from sideways right here, and we don't know what's before that, we don't necessarily have a trend yet until the market makes support and then breaks that support again, which it does from this low. So it retraces, and then the market makes a lower low. And so what we have is we have a downward trend, which is also, I'll actually use our little arrow tool here with a red line. This is a downward trend, also known as a bearish trend. Bearish is for a downward movement, and bullish is for an upward movement. When the market is rising, it's bullish. When it's dropping, it's bearish. Bears hibernate and bulls charge. They gore upwards with their horns. Bears swipe down with their claws. So bearish is downwards, bullish is upwards, in case you ever hear that on the live call. So the market continues its trend here, continues to find support, reject again, resistance in here, It's making the lower lows, pulls back here. And then the market makes a lower low here. We have a final level of support. And then something very important happens. The market, from the low, breaks the previous area of resistance. And this would suggest in the market that the market is reversing. And so we have been moving in a bearish move to the downside. Okay, again, this is a bearish trend. Market is selling until it hits a point at which the market finds demand. And that was at this final support level right here. From here, the market breaks the resistance, which ends the trend. The trend is now technically complete after that has happened. And so we can use a yellow vertical line right here as the trend has been broken right there. So we were moving to the downside, and then the market broke right here the resistance. Now the market begins to create new levels of support in a different market structure, as well as new levels of resistance, which you can see throughout here. Until the market has then no longer broken resistance for a continuation, and the market has again now broken support right here. This is where that completed. So we had a bearish trend, which then reversed into a bullish trend. In the market. Now, there's an important piece to this puzzle that you need to understand, and that's the higher highs and the lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. So let's cover that real quick. When the market has structure and you have a high and you have a low, and the market breaks lower, you have now what's called a lower low. And the market made the high here, which was resistance, and that is a lower high. Why? Because the low was lower, and also the high was lower. And so the high and the low are just areas of support, right? It's just support. But it's a high on the chart and a low on the chart. And when the market is making lower lows, you are in a downward trend. Now, on the reverse side, when the market has a low, now let's start down here at the bottom. And then the market makes a high. And then the market makes a higher low. Why? It's higher than the previous low. And then the market makes a higher high. When this happens, you are in a uptrend or a bullish trend to the upside. And that is how you identify, using structure, using your support and resistance. Are your supports getting lower with lower highs, lower resistance points? Or Are your lows getting higher with higher highs going into the market? And if you have lower lows and lower highs, you're in a downward trend. If you have a higher high and higher low, you are in a uptrend in the market. And that is how you identify trends at the most easy level in the market. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. Remember, there are simple pullbacks and complex pullbacks in the markets. But overall, in time, you'll be able to easily spot these trends and identify if a low is broken or not broken, or if highs were broken and the market is making higher highs. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video on break of structure and change of character. We'll see you then.